Hey guys, so lately I've had a lot of questions about the power rack that I built a few years ago. It was made out of pressure treated 2x4s and 4x4s and all that stuff, and it really served purpose for a good long while. A lot of guys wanted some plans for it, and I had a few comments lately about whether it was actually safe to use or not, based on the fact that it was made out of wood and with screws and joist hangers and that sort of thing. So as kind of a reminder to a lot of folks, don't forget that you might be living in a home that is stick built, made out of wood, and it's still holding up just fine. And the little bit of weight that I was putting on there, whether if I'm even if I was trying to like match or max a bench press or a squat or something, it's still plenty strong to take care of that wood. One guy had made a comment about the shear strength of screws. Now, granted, if you have a screw and it's like sticking through the back of a board or something, and you like smash the shit out of that with like a hammer or a pry bar or something, yeah, it could potentially snap. But that was one screw that you're talking about. With what I'm doing here is I would often do like 5 screws. I'd have the piece of wood like right here, and then I would do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws and hold that in there. Plus there would be like some liquid nail or some PVA, some polyvinyl adhesive, some yellow carpenter glue holding that together. And once that's together, that becomes damn strong. Also, with a lot of stuff that I was doing, see, on like the squat rack, for example, I would have a couple of 4x4s that were going straight up, and they were on a little stand, keep them vertical, and the weight would come directly on top of that 4x4, and you could rest a car on top of a 4x4 and it's not going to shatter or break or anything. You would have to put a shit ton of weight on there for that to become a problem. For the bench press arms that I put on there, the kind of the safeties, they were designed with like it was like this, and then it would go down like a triangle, okay? And if you know anything about geometry, triangles are very, very strong, because I had this one going here and then 90 or a 45-degree angle, so you had a big 90, so it was really, really strong this way, and then it would go into another triangle down here. So structurally, this thing was very, very, very strong. Now, I think I said in that video or one of my other video responses that with the design that I had and why I built that, because I was basically not new to lifting, but I was trying to get back into lifting, and because it's been so many years since I've been that active and wanted to get back to that. So I built that as kind of a, hey, until I get enough money and I redesign the garage and everything for that type of thing, that was going to work. Also, for guys that are on a budget that are a little bit handy, they could build something like that without going out and spending, tons and tons of money getting this, some kind of super fancy power rack or, machines or something like that. So, and just being a carpenter and woodworker, which I've been for damn near 20 years, I have pretty good faith in my abilities to build shit that won't break, to build shit that's pretty strong and bulky and rigid that isn't going to become a problem. So if you're one of those ones that are brand new to woodworking or carpentry, I don't recommend that you build a power rack or something where you could potentially be putting your life and safety on the line. Some people were asking me if I still am using that power rack or how is it holding up. I actually was able to get a large power rack. This one is by Ethos. You can go by Dick's Sporting Goods and pick one of those things up. I got the bench as well, sitting back here behind me, along with some bumper plates and that sort of thing. So the reason I bought that is because I wanted something a little bit more rigid, a little bit more sturdy, and honestly something a little more permanent than what I had. It did cost a little chunk of change to get all that, but I was able to save up and get that sort of thing because I view my health and fitness as a investment, and to invest in some good, safe, quality products made sense. But for a long time, I was using that power rack that I made, the homemade one, without any issue whatsoever. So, like I said, if you're brand new to woodworking, I don't recommend you build one, okay? If you have any doubt in your strength or ability to put something like that together to design something, don't build it, okay? Save up your nickels, dimes, quarters, and pennies and save up and buy something, that's designed for something like that. But for the rest of you guys that are pretty handy with tools and know how to design things that are safe and appropriate for what you're going to be doing, go for it, because like I said, a lot of homes out there are built with 2x4s. And it's like if you look at a roof, for example, and you look up in your attic and you see how that is constructed, it's very, very similar construction to how I built that rack, because you see nothing but triangles everywhere. You see joist hangers all over the place, and it's very, very structurally sound, very, very rigid. And you might say, oh, well, it's not really supporting that much weight up on the roof. Yeah, you want to try lifting a couple of bundles of shingles and tell me that that's not a decent amount of weight? You put the plywood on top of there, plus the shingles and the felt paper and all the fasteners, all that kind of crap. That is a ton of weight up on that roof. And that's just the roof. And then structurally on down below that, you have, potentially a second story and a first story, and all the shit that's in each one of those rooms and stuff. And a lot of that is held up by just wood. Okay, so a little bit of weight that I was throwing around in here was nothing compared to what your home does if you're living in a stick built home, as far as like the amount of weight that it can hold. As always, questions, comments, concerns, complaints, whines, bitches, moans, and groans down below. Thanks for watching.